Sunday morning to all our Sports Today family members, and for many people around the globe who are watching Sports Today, happy Easter. This is the day when you can all celebrate after the morning of Good Friday. So, happy Easter to each and everybody who's watching at this stage. And let me first bring you up to date with the world of sport. Today is the second double header between in IPL 2026. It is the first game between SRH versus LSG. Now, SRH will be aiming to capitalize on that start that they had against Kolkata Knight Riders. They did lose the first game against RCB pretty badly, but they are going to play their first home game at home, first home game in IPL 2026, and that is why they will really want to ensure that they continue that good start that they had against KKR and build on the momentum against LSG, who, by the way, also lost their opening encounter. And LSG will be distracted by all the off-field things that have been going on, especially with what happened with the Rishabh Pant situation at the Ekana in the last game. SRH do start slight favourites because at home, when you look at the pitch, the batting, they can very well get to about 250, 260 in those kind of pitches. But remember one thing, their bowling is incredibly weak. And because of that, the situation is Pat Cummins is going to come back only 2 weeks later, 2 to 3 weeks later. So their bowling, Ishan Malinga turned up in a good way. Then you got Jaidev Unadkat, who's been kind of holding the bowling together. So it promises to be a very, very interesting contest between SRH and LSG. LSG, on the other hand, their pace attack should do well. But again, their batting, if their top order doesn't fire, then their middle order also struggles in that sense. And what is going to be Rishabh Pant's batting position? Should he bat higher up? Should he bat lower up? What is the conundrum of Rishabh Pant and where is he going to bat? That is the one thing LSG will have to figure out very soon. But the second game involves a lot of drama. It is going to be the Kaveri Derby, RCB versus CSK. That is going to take place at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. CSK are currently 0-2 in IPL 2026. They just have not managed to get going. And RCB, on the other hand, they have played their opening game and they look in great shape indeed. So it is RCB who start as the favourites for this particular encounter against CSK. They will be really gung-ho on what they have achieved. And looking at the recent record also, CSK, RCB have won their last couple of encounters against CSK. So it's not going to be easy in this Kaveri Derby. Earlier, CSK used to boss the rivalry. Now it is the turn of RCB to do it. And honestly, what is the situation regarding a lot of players? Firstly, there is this one question that Sam is saying, any update on Tushar, Brevis and Hazelwood? See, Tushar didn't get the NOC to play the IPL. So I think he's fighting a legal battle with Sri Lanka Cricket. So I don't think he's coming immediately, or he may not come at all in IPL 2026. That's number one. On Hazelwood, maybe might not be fit yet. RCB will take a call. Maybe Josh Hazelwood could come in for the game, but it looks highly unlikely. I don't think he may play this game as well. When you look at Devol Brevis, see, Devol Brevis has suffered a side strain. 2 to 3 games, it's estimated he won't be there. They didn't want to rush him for the RCB game. I think he could play today, Devol Brevis. Brevis might play for CSK in this game against RCB, but we don't know yet. There's no confirmation on whether Brevis will play today. So that is the thing. But my estimate is if it's a side strain, it looks very difficult for him to play, but anything can happen. So that is the one thing in this lineup that we are looking at. So who starts as the favourite? Clear cut, it is RCB who start as the favourites in this particular game. CSK needs some inspiration from somewhere to ensure that they win this particular encounter. Now, as far as the RR versus GT encounter is concerned, Rajasthan Royals will consider themselves very lucky that they got out of jail, because GT suffered a cataclysmic collapse of 5 for 40. But even when there were 2 overs left, Riyan Parag had to take a tough decision. Initially, what he was planning to do is that Tushar Deshpande would bowl the 19th, Jofra Archer would bowl the 20th. But he swapped it at the last minute on the advice of whom? Dhruv Jurel. Riyan Parag in the post-match credited Dhruv Jurel for saying that I took his advice. I decided to bowl Jofra in the 19th and Deshpande in the 20th, because that would ensure that yes, you would have to get a lot more runs. If Deshpande had bowled, Jofra would have had very little to do. So that is why he has credited Dhruv Jurel for ensuring that yes, we will bowl Jofra Archer in the 19th and Tushar Deshpande in the 20th. So Riyan Parag continues to make the right statement in this IPL as a captain. I mean, his maturity, the press conferences that happened in the Barsapara match against CSK, that went viral. So Riyan Parag has gotten his captaincy off to a great start. But remember, this is only 2 out of the 12 league games remaining that are there or the 14 league games that are remaining in this IPL. So he has to be very strong about it. He has to maintain the consistency. GT, as always, did what RR did in 2025. So Shubman Gill, his injury status, we are not sure at this point in time. It's a muscle spasm, but he was moving around pretty well. So GT, whether Shubman Gill will be available for the DC encounter, that we don't know. So GT versus DC is the next game that they're going to play, but whether Shubman Gill will be fit, we don't know at this point. Then as far as the other sporting events are concerned, FIFA have agreed to the condition that yes, okay, the elections in the Football Federation, the Football Federation of India, that will take some time. So that will be a delay of 3 months at this stage. So yes, it's a continuing muddle that is there in the AIFF. AIFF elections will be delayed by 3 months. FIFA have agreed to that. Now, as far as the candidates is concerned, Pragnananda is going to face yet another big test before the second rest day. Today, he will take on Fabiano Caruana, and if Pragnananda wins and if somehow, some way, Sindarov manages to draw, then the gap will reduce to 1 point. Already he's ahead by 1.5 points, and if Sindarov wins this particular game and Pragnananda can't, then he opens up a big 2-point advantage. So not easy at all in the candidates what's going to happen at this stage. But yes, Divya Deshmukh and Vaishali, they are in contention because the gap between them and Anna Muzichuk is only 1 point, the leader at the candidate in the women's section. So let's see how that pans out in the candidates, and I'll take a couple of comments. San, I've already given you the update. Freaking awesome, saying Punch should bat at number 4. The opening position didn't work for even the last season. Before teams list someone in the impact service, they need to pick their best 11 first, because if the batting fails, they need to pick someone else from an impact and can't pick their important player. Agreed? Totally agree. CSK dominated RCB till 2023-2010. RCB dominated CSK from 2024 3-1 and it will be 4-1 by tonight. CSK has become like West Indies and Manchester United. Agree in that sense. GT is freaking awesome. GT is mainly losing because of their team combination. They should pick Jason Holder and Sai Kishore. Rabada has been struggling for a while. Might well get agree. But I don't know why the GT management persists. Update on Gukesh. What is the update on Gukesh? Gukesh is not going to play a lot of tournaments. He's only going to play 2 events in the GCT. So that is the thing. And yes, one more bit. Arsenal have lost in the FA Cup to Southampton. And now 4 titles that they wanted to plan, 2 they have botched up. Will the Champions League and the Premier League also go their way? Will they bottle up all 4? And a lot of fans who are not Arsenal fans, they are having a field day today. So Arsenal also have botched up their FA Cup bid. They lost to Southampton and problems are only mounting at this stage, my friend. And thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this update. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. Bye-bye.